Rabbi Tovia Singer, thank you so much. Baruch Hashem. I've been a little bit very, very harsh with you 10 years ago, but now I've come to know the truth. I just want you to clarify to me the blood atonement and the pure language. That's like the Lashon Kodash, that when the Mashiach comes, that we will be able to speak the language.
Okay.
Okay.
You can go ahead and hang up now and tune in for your answer. Thank you for your call.
You know, there's so many people who used to hate me. And I get this very interesting email every day from different people who, so I said, I used to hate your guts. And one guy wrote to me and said, I thought you were the Antichrist. He wrote me an email today. And I just want you to know I love you and I used to hate you. And I researched it finally. And, you know, God does that with people where he takes a heart of stone and turns it into a heart of flesh. So that's really very beautiful. Thank you. So, a lot of people who would assassinate me who now think I'm okay. So that's really, my mom is very happy with each one of those calls. But thank you, you're a sweetheart. So you're talking about, so first, the blood atonement. So let's just appoint two things you said, blood atonement, pure speech. Let's look at both of them. So as it turns out, most Christians who come from the Christian world think that in biblical times, if somebody sinned, no matter what it was, you brought a sacrifice as an atonement for your sin. That's completely not correct. The vast majority of sins could not be remedied by a sacrifice. However, there were some, like unintentional sins, or that's called the Charbon Chatos, Leviticus chapter 4. A person who sinned intentionally but confessed it, didn't get caught, but say, hey, I stole it. So that person can bring a guilt offering. You have a unique situation where somebody brought an offering in a state of impurity in the temple, knowingly or unknowingly. So you would have to, on Yom Kippur, a offering in a state of purity is you brought to atone for bring a sacrifice instead of impurity, okay? So that's a simple remedy. But the vast majority of sins, you can't bring an offering for it. If you steal and you get caught, you just pay double. If you steal livestock, you have to pay 4 or 5 times what was stolen. If you commit murder, of course, you need to have enough evidence, so that's a capital crime. You can't bring sacrifice for that. In the Messianic age, a key feature of the Messianic age is that the whole world will know the truth and rebellion will come to an end, okay? We're not going to become robots or programmed or like switching from PC to Mac and like it's a whole new operating system. It's just the truth will be nigla. The truth will be amplek, that's Yiddish, which means it'll be open for all to see. The knowledge of God will cover the world as the water covers the sea. Habakkuk 2:14, Isaiah 11:9. Everyone will know the truth. No one will have to teach his neighbor about God, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them. Therefore, sins of rebellion will come to an end. Why? It's not that we're programmed. Is that it will be so obvious, the truth will be so obvious that no one would want to sin. In the same way, if you cook, I'm sure, you're in the kitchen, you're fixing some food, I'm sure in your life you have burnt yourself, you've cut yourself, right? And when you do that, when you injure yourself in the kitchen, why? You weren't being careful. You were being a dummy, right? I mean, if you're not paying attention or you just, before thinking, you just grab a pot without thinking, wait, that pot is hot, and then you burn yourself, right? And you go, boy, that was stupid. Or you cut yourself because you just, all right. So that's being careless. That sin can be remedied through a sin offering, a carbon chatas. And as we see in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 45, verse 20 and 22, the Messiah himself, who is called the Prince and Nasi, will bring a sin offering for unintentional sins. It says it explicitly. Now, for Christianity, that is a existential problem because according to them, the Messiah doesn't sin. Why would he bring a sin offering? And he is the final sin offering. He's the lamb. It's just absolutely an impossible. Then I just don't know what to do with it. Literally says that he is going to bring a sin offering on behalf of himself and the nation for his own sins and the sins of the nation. According to the Christian Bible, the sacrificial system will, according to the Christian Bible, come to an end. See Hebrews 10:18. See Romans chapter 6. So why is the sacrificial system resuming in the temple? In fact, there are many priests, I may have never shared with you, but many Kaihanim, people who are my family, who are descendants of Aaron, study the laws of bringing offerings in preparation for the coming of the Messiah. So there are many yeshivot here in Israel, programs for priests, descendants of Aaron like myself, who are studying these laws, so that when the Messiah comes, please God, it'll be very soon, will be ready to step forward and to bring offerings. Let's set that aside. Prophet named Zephaniah, he's known probably to you as Zephaniah. Zephaniah lived here in Yerushalayim, right where I am now. He preached right here. And he was a contemporary of Jeremiah. They lived the exact same time. And in chapter 3, verse 9, he says that all the nations will speak b'safa brura, in a pure speech, which means that the whole world will acknowledge HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and all the words that will come out of the mouths, the lips of the nations of the world will be only focused towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because as Zechariah says, that God will be king of the whole world. And in that day, he will be one, and his name will be one. What does it mean? God will then, in Zechariah 14, he will then be king of the whole world. He's not king now, but the problem is that most of the world doesn't accept him properly, right? But when Mashiach comes, everyone will know the truth, and they will speak b'safa brura, a pure speech. By the way, that's the word bar. You remember the kiss the sun thing? All right. Anyway, for those who speak Hebrew know that. B'safa brura, that means to speak with purity out of the lips, not as they do now, with what is dark is light, what is light is dark, what is sweet is bitter, what is bitter is sweet. The whole world today, we're living in olam hasheker. Everything is all lies. What's valuable is considered worthless, the mitzvot, and what's worthless is considered valuable. That's the world we live in now. When Mashiach comes, what is really precious will be deemed as such, and all the nations, their lips will be pure. May we be zecha. May we merit to see the coming of the true Mashiach quick in our time, where this prophecy will be fulfilled. Thank you for your thoughtful question, and welcome home. If you enjoyed this program, please like and subscribe.
Adon olam asher malach בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל